Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Boomerang this evening. Tonight we don't have Wendy with us, who's usually the team leader. Unfortunately, she had to go into hospital earlier in the week for a small operation, which everything was successful, and she's just to do some physio. And when I spoke to her about an hour ago, before coming out to Boomerang, she was very pleased with the way things had gone. So we look forward to seeing her back in a few weeks' time. The folks who are here tonight, there is me, who will be doing the reading just now, and
it's good evening from Linda.
And good evening from Steve.
And good evening from Ray.
And this week, the news comes, as always, with permission from the West Lothian Courier. And we'll start with one of the stories from the front page, a doggy story. And the headline is "The Best Christmas Gift of All." A family have been reunited with their missing dog nearly 2 years after he disappeared in what has been described as a Christmas miracle. Prince, a wee white Maltese, vanished from West Lothian in June the 1st, 2024, sparking a huge community search, including friends, neighbours and volunteer drone operators, and a desperate hunt even reached America. Posters were put up, hours of CCTV was trawled through, and appeals were shared on social media tens of thousands of times, but no lead ever came to light. The heartbreaking loss was sharp for the Dalrymple family. Their daughter, Aisla Dalrymple, 21, a student in Dundee, said it felt like losing a family member. Feeling helpless, she prayed for a Christmas miracle last week. Aisha told STV, "Until this happened to us, we never fully understood the depth of grief that could accompany the loss of a pet with no closure. But then the family got a phone call they didn't expect. Alicia's grandmother, Fran, was contacted by anemic vets in Edinburgh to say that a dog had been handed in after randomly walking into a laundrette in the next door business. He was rushed straight to the vets, where the staff checked his microchip number and realised it was Prince. The vet assured them that the pooch was in good health and had been found wearing a coat and a collar. Fran and Alicia drove straight to the capital, but admitted they didn't believe what was happening until they set eyes on him. Alicia said, "When Prince was brought out, it felt like we were dreaming. Yet there he was, the same Prince that we had lost nearly 2 years ago." Other relatives jumped on a reunion video call. Michael, Auntie Sylvia, Brian and Alicia's mum got emotional when they saw him on the screen, and the youngest, Neil, was rendered completely speechless by the special reunion. The family said, "We can't thank them enough. We realised that Prince did not simply wander off as a puppy, but the joy of having him home is immense." Alicia has just celebrated her 21st birthday, and the family described recent events as the best birthday present she could have imagined. They added, "Sometimes, even when you feel that all hope is lost, unexpected things can happen. Christmas is surely the season of miracles, and we are happy to have seen and experienced one of these rare occurrences in our life." And you can imagine there are pictures with the article, and little Prince is looking at the camera. I think he knows he's being photographed in one of the pictures, and he's being cuddled in two of the others. So what a good start, a happy start to the issues tonight.
My cancer bombshell left me in agony with a broken spine. It's an article by Nicholas Malazia. A West Lothian man was going to work in agony before being diagnosed with a rare disease which left him with a fractured spine. Craig Mackenzie from Uphall was diagnosed this year with multiple myeloma, a cancer that affects the blood and bone marrow. The 33-year-old said he was very, very lucky not to be paralysed prior to being diagnosed. He is now fighting to support others with the same condition by raising funds for Myeloma UK. Craig, a logistics lead for a medical company, was attending work for nearly 3 months in severe pain. He was also experiencing nerve pain along his fingers and across his chest, which grew concerning. He eventually went to his doctor for an X-ray, where he discovered his neck was broken and was later rushed to A&E. Craig told Edinburgh Live, "The shock was when I found out I had a broken neck. I'd been walking around and working full-time in agony for 2.5 months. I had a broken C3 vertebra that needed fixation as soon as possible, and I'd need lots of tests done to find out what it was." He shared on his TikTok account, "I could have ended up paraplegic or paralysed for the 2 months I was going about with a broken neck, which is pretty damn scary. I've been very, very lucky." Craig underwent major surgery in February where metal bars were inserted into his spine. He ran into complications when he contracted an infection, prompting 2 further surgeries with intravenous antibiotics before he could begin cancer treatment. He was officially diagnosed with myeloma in March and has been undergoing treatment ever since. Along the way, Craig has shared his journey on TikTok to raise awareness about the disease. Multiple myeloma can lead to cancerous cells building up in the spine, ribcage, pelvis and hips, leading to bone pain, fractures and fatigue, according to Myeloma UK. The condition is extremely rare for someone as young as Craig, seen most commonly in people aged 85 to 89, according to Cancer Research UK. He was horrified after Googling the condition to see that life expectancies can be as short as 5 years. Craig said, "Obviously this was a massive shock, but getting further into it, I realised that's for the older patients and the stats aren't really available for younger people." Now he wants to help others battling the condition by raising funds for Myeloma UK. He continued, "I'm raising awareness and putting information out there as an affected young person. I use my social media platforms to document all the treatments I've been undergoing so far and how they've affected me. I've been absolutely humbled in that aspect by everyone's generosity. For anyone facing any form of cancer treatment or another illness, reach out to someone who can help. The charities are amazing. If they're going through something similar to me, I'm available to chat on any of my socials. I'm just a message away." Amid the tumult of Craig's past year, he has also found positivity in the adversity. He and his then-girlfriend Holly got engaged while Craig was in hospital. He said, "This was a lovely little bit of light and good in a whole pile of dark and bad." To support Craig's cause, you can find his fundraiser at justgiving.com/page/Craig-Mackenzie-1.
Council faces higher school bill. Costs still rising at St Kentigern's rebuild needs more funds. And this is an article by Stuart Somerville. West Lothian Council faces paying an extra £1 million a year for the next 30 years to cover the cost of the rebuild of St Kentigern's Academy. That's the cost of borrowing £15 million on top of £20 million to deliver a new school for Blackburn. This week, Council leader Lawrence Fitzpatrick repeated that the Council's plea to the Education Secretary to help cover part of the £35 million bill for the rebuild. The Scottish Government said Westminster's Labour government had failed to invest properly in public services. In a letter to the SNP's Education Minister, Jenny Gilruth, Councillor Fitzpatrick said, "I was disappointed and dismayed by your response that the Scottish Government has not recognised our desperate request. As you have stated, it is for local authorities to manage and maintain their schools. However, given the prominence of the Scottish Government's narrative on an improving school estate nationally, a vital contribution to this project would be welcomed." Miss Gilruth visited St Kent's and met Councillor Fitzpatrick and the Education Executive Chair, Councillor Andrew Maguire, in February. Councillor Fitzpatrick reminded the Minister in his latest letter, "We were delighted by your comment that our request for £15 million towards the £35 million cost was the most deserving case. We both had the clear impression of your strong undertaking to support our request. Almost 60% of the school had to be demolished because rack roofing panels were discovered. For almost 2 years, pupils have been housed in portable classrooms on site. Exams have had to be farmed out to other council locations, and pupils are bused to and from PE lessons. St Kent's is one of the largest schools in West Lothian. It draws pupils from across the county. It has singing stars Lewis Capaldi and Susan Boyle among its former pupils." In his letter, Councillor Fitzpatrick highlighted the dire financial situation the council is in. A council spokesperson told the local Democracy Reporting Service that it has to borrow the additional £15 million it first asked Holyrood for 2 years ago, and it will cost the council an extra £30 million in repayments in the long term, an extra £1 million a year. In his letter, the council leader said, "As you may recall, the overall capital costs of addressing RAC in community buildings and schools in West Lothian has been £76.6 million, of which £69.6 million is related to the learning estate and £35 million specifically for securing the future of St Kent's Academy. This has come in the backdrop of sustained real-term reduction in our general capital funding grant from the Scottish Government. Due to the efforts of council officers, the new extension at St Kent's Academy is scheduled for completion in spring 2026, and I again politely request financial support from Scottish Government in terms of the £15 million gap in funding that the council is having to factor into its budget planning for this project." As we are all aware, Audit Scotland some weeks ago reported a £1 billion underspend by the Scottish Government. Additionally, there has been an additional £5.2 billion extra monies provided by the UK Government, with a further £800 million provided by the Chancellor. From the West Lothian perspective, community priorities top the list, and in this context, it has been noted that the First Minister some weeks ago committed £20 million towards a yet unbuilt concert hall in Edinburgh. Responding to the letter, a spokesperson for Scottish Government reiterated to the LDRS that local authorities own and operate school buildings, unlike in other parts of the UK, and as such they have a legal duty to manage and maintain their school estate. They added, "Ministers recognise this is a worrying time for children, families, teachers and school staff, and West Lothian Council should be commended for its efforts in tackling RAC in the school estate. However, there will be no Scotland-wide Scottish Government RAC remediation fund. Only the UK Government has the financial flexibility to respond to RAC with a national fund. If the UK Government budget had committed to invest properly in public services and infrastructure, the Scottish Government would have more financial headroom to consider supporting important capital infrastructure projects such as this. As it stands, the increase in funding for the Scottish Government will not even cover half the cost of the employers' national insurance contributions brought in this year. Guidance on the management of RAC is publicly available, including from the Institute of Structural Engineers, with building owners recommended to adopt a risk-based approach. Meanwhile, Archbishop Leo Cushley of the Archdiocese of St Andrews and Edinburgh, which includes West Lothian, has become the latest high-profile figure to lend his support to the bid to secure vital funding for the school from the Scottish Government. Archbishop Cushley said, "St Kent's Academy is recognised as one of the many excellent Catholic schools in the Archdiocese of St Andrews and Edinburgh. To ensure in the future that St Kent's Academy continues to serve its pupils, families and wider community as well as it has done over many years, I would hope that the Scottish Government would be able to support West Lothian Council with the rebuilding costs for the school. Councillor Fitzpatrick added thanks to Archbishop Cushley for supporting our appeal for Scottish Government funding for St Kent's Academy in Blackburn. His backing reflects the views of the St Kent's community, who understand the importance of the school and our need for financial support. And there is a picture of Councillor Fitzpatrick and an aerial photograph of the school in construction.
Huge turnout as parents hit out at council, an article by Stuart Somerville. More than 400 people turned out at the first consultation meeting debate whether a new secondary school should be built in East Calder. Given the choice between that and busing children to Winchborough or Livingston, a show of hands left council officials in no doubt that a new school for East Calder is the only choice for the majority. Strength of feeling was evident in the turnout at Calderwood Primary School on Monday night. Such local information evenings on catchment area changes usually attract no more than 24 parents. Organisers said they were blown away by the support. The council had already had early warning of the opposition it faces to bus children. Local councillors had been deluged with questions and opposition to the initial plan. Last month, the Calderwood Residents Association forced a meeting of West Lothian's education executive to include the option of a new secondary school in the consultation. The original plan for the month-long initial consultation was to give parents the choice of where Calderwood children should go from 2026. Two options were presented: Winchborough Academy and James Young High School in Dedridge, Livingston. These busing plans were roundly rejected on Monday night. Parents' comments summed up the tone. One said, "It's mad that they could be busing 900 kids from East Calder to secondary schools. The council seems happy to settle for mediocrity rather than working with the local communities to create a better future for our children." Another said, "My young children's future hangs in the balance, yet it feels as though West Lothian Council is focused on spreadsheets rather than lives. An East Calder High School is vital for families already stretched by years of rapid growth." Another mum tapped the feelings of the many in the room who chose to make their lives in the newly developed Calderwood Core Development Area, which has been transformed from the once rural fringes of East Calder. She said, "I've been a resident of Calderwood since 2017. I was so pleased to see the community come together and make our voice heard. Everyone knows that East Calder needs a school, and we showed tonight that we are an informed, caring and compassionate community who wants the best for our children and neighbours." Many felt the council were using the most pessimistic costings to rush a decision rather than exploring the potential benefits of building a new secondary. Officers believe a new school would cost around £80 million, whereas the planned extension, which would be needed to Winchborough and James Young, would come in at around £25 million each. Traditionally, East Calder children are part of a long, narrow catchment area for West Calder High School, which stretches along the southern border of the county. While initially considered an indicative option, there has never been realistic plans beyond site identification for a new East Calder secondary. It has never been on the agenda for either the Labour minority-led administration in the last two administrations, nor the opposition SNP group since the Calderwood area began to develop. In that time, 2 new secondary schools have opened in Winchborough and the other neighbouring core development area as funding solutions for the CDA have come together. Key opposition to busing the children from Calderwood to Winchborough is the poor road network between the two communities and more generally along south to north routes in West Lothian. Neame Barton Maynard, Secretary of the Calderwood Residents Association, told the Local Democracy Reporting Service, "We are absolutely blown away by the turnout tonight. It shows just how strong the community feels. East Calder is one of the fastest growing areas in West Lothian, and even with extensions to existing school at the current rate of development, we would be back in exactly the same position in less than a decade. We hope the Education Committee and the Labour-led Council can see that this is not a political point scoring. It's about doing right by our children, our communities, and creating a positive, lasting legacy for future generations." A spokesman for West Lothian Council told the LDRS, "Thank you to all the local residents who took the time to attend the non-statutory pre-consultation meeting at Calderwood Primary regarding potential school catchment changes recently. The pre-consultation process aims to make sure the local community is informed of the options under consideration and acknowledge and address their views of the options. The meeting was well attended by local residents, and all their views will help inform the proposal that will be put forward for the legally required statutory consultation phase planned for early next year." And there's a picture showing the large turnout of more than 400 people, all holding up placards in opposition to the busing.
Our next article is MSPs in flu vaccination plea, and this is an article by Ross Thompson. West Lothian parliamentarians are urging constituents to get their flu jab as soon as possible. Hammond Valley MSP Angela Constance and her Linlithgow counterpart Fiona Hislop made the plea following the Scottish Government's announcement of a £20 million boost to strengthen social care and ease pressure on the NHS this winter. Highlighting the risk of an early and challenging flu season, urging everyone who is eligible, especially children, young people and those most at risk, to take up the free vaccine. Fiona said, "Flu can be a very serious illness, especially for older people and those with underlying health conditions. Getting vaccinated is the best way to protect yourself, your loved ones and our NHS this winter. I would also encourage parents and carers across West Lothian to make sure their children and young people take up the offer of a free flu jab. Getting vaccinated is quick, easy, and will help keep communities across West Lothian safe and healthy this winter." The Scottish Government is also recruiting 290 additional frontline Scottish Ambulance Service staff and investing £5 million in NHS 24's digital systems to help people access care more quickly. Angela added, "I'd especially encourage parents and carers in Hammond Valley to make sure children and young people get their free flu jab, and for everyone who is eligible to take up the offer. It's quick, it's easy, and it helps keep our whole community well this winter." This new £20 million package is another clear sign that the SNP is taking real practical steps to support the NHS and more social care services. More information on the flu vaccination is available on the NHS information site.
Leanne hailed for her hard work at nursery, an unattributed article. ABC Tots Nursery in Armadale is celebrating the success of their area manager Leanne Barlow after she was recognised as a finalist at the 2025 Scottish Nursery Awards. Leanne provides leadership and support to 5 nurseries across Scotland, including ABC Tots. Her work in Armadale has been praised for strengthening quality, building staff confidence and helping the nursery progress through periods of change and improvement. Nursery owner Sadia Ahmed, who oversees the group, says Leanne's impact on ABC Tots has been transformational over the past year. Leanne has supported our managers with compassion, clarity and real expertise, Sadia said. Her guidance has helped build stronger systems, better communication and a more confident and reflective team at ABC Tots. We are incredibly proud to see her recognised on a national stage. ABC Tots manager Fiona Keenan says Leanne's support has made a significant difference to her leadership journey. As a manager, I didn't always believe in myself, Fiona explained. Leanne never judged me, she guided me. She helped me understand how to approach challenges, support my staff, and put children at the heart of everything we do. I've grown so much in this role because she believed in me. Fiona added that Leanne's passion for early years inspired the whole team. She added, her training, advice and mindset around staff well-being have changed our nursery for the better. She pushes me to be my best and I know I can always lift the phone if I need her. Although Leanne did not win the overall award for Nursery Operations or Area Manager of the Year category on the night, ABC Tots says the finalist recognition alone is a major achievement for the setting and the wider West Lothian early years community.
Awesome Alan receives gong at Care Awards. And this is an article by Ross Thompson. A West Lothian man has been honoured with esteemed recognition at the Scottish Care Awards. In Scotland, 87% of adult care home support is provided by the independent sector, caring for around 28,000 older individuals and employing nearly 45,900 dedicated individuals. Alan Galway, a resident at Croftware Care Home in Fauldhouse, won the Outstanding Achievement Award category. This award celebrates the achievements of individuals connected with care homes, such as residents, relatives, community groups, or volunteers. This is awarded to someone who has overcome difficulties, tried something new, or taken steps to enhance their lives or those of others in the community. Alan collected his surprise award, which was sponsored by Adelshaw Goddard at the awards ceremony at the Hilton Hotel in Glasgow. The awards ceremony were hosted by Michelle McManus with over 500 people attending. Alan was delighted to have been recognised and said, "I'm very surprised but thrilled and honoured to be chosen as a winner in these prestigious awards." Ruth Young, Deputy Manager from Crofthead Care Home, said, "I nominated our resident Alan Galway for the Outstanding Achievement Award in recognition of his hard work and commitment whilst living in Crofthead to not only enhance the quality of his own life, but that of all other residents. Alan has embraced life in the care home and has used his time to encourage and help other residents to make the best of their situation. Alan can use empathy, reflecting on his own initial experience to help others to transition living in a care home. He has helped to make our care home welcoming, friendly, and a nice place to live and work. All the staff, residents and relatives at Crofthead loved seeing Alan win their prestigious award in recognition for all that he does for the home, the staff and the residents. This year's awards received a substantial record number of entries, a testament to all the excellent work going on in our care homes in Scotland. Care homes, often unsung heroes in the community, will get their moment in the spotlight, showcasing the passion and commitment of those who work to ensure that residents live their fullest lives. And there is a photograph of Alan receiving his award at the ceremony in Glasgow.
On the beat with Chief Inspector Greg Burns. Winter worry for drivers, but we can all take safety steps. We are well and truly into the heart of winter, and for motorists across the Lothians and Scottish borders, the coming months will present a number of challenges, and it's important we all ensure our roads stay safe during this time. Winter weather in Scotland, for instance, can vary from day to day and sometimes hour to hour, going from sunny dry spells to pouring rain and even sleet and snow. This means that drivers must take the utmost care when behind the wheel and drive to the conditions being faced on the roads. This is particularly important on rural roads where there may be many, not particularly important on the rural routes where there may not be high volumes of traffic or gritters to keep roads clear. Please also remember that no matter how well you know a road, the variables associated with winter weather can make driving unpredictable, so watch your speed and remember that braking takes time, and this will be longer and affected by surface water and frost. It's also extremely important that all motorists ensure their vehicles are roadworthy and equipped to deal with wintry conditions. So please take the time to check tyre pressure and tread depth, as well as ensuring you have plenty screen wash in the reservoir to allow you to clear your window of the mess that builds up from the roads. If you're going to be travelling for a long period of time, please make sure you have sufficient fuel, snacks and water and warmer clothes in the event that your journey is delayed or you find yourself unable to leave your vehicle because of adverse weather. Another important consideration for road users during the winter months is visibility. Obviously, cars, vans, motorcycles and lorries need to ensure their lights are all operational when they are needed. But for more vulnerable road users such as pedestrians, cyclists, motorcyclists and horse riders, it is vitally important that you wear suitable high visibility clothing too. With temperatures starting to drop, it is likely that vehicles will need to be defrosted before setting off on your journey, but please remember that you should never start your engine to heat the vehicle up and then leave it unattended. This provides would-be thieves with an opportunity to steal it because the keys are left in the vehicle and it could have consequences for insurance claims. Don't make yourself an easy target for criminals. We're now arriving at the part of the year where many of us will be enjoying nights out with friends and family for Christmas. This means that alcohol may have been consumed, which could still be in your system the next day. Each year, Police Scotland runs its annual winter drink driving campaign, and we dedicate additional resources to patrolling our roads to look out for those driving under the influence. The consequences and implications of driving while impaired will have significant implications on you, both professionally and personally, so please don't risk it. Help us keep the roads network across the Lothian and Scottish borders safe for everyone this winter.
This is an article without anyone being attributed to having written it. It's headed up Plan for New Homes Given the Go-Ahead. Taylor Wimpey East Scotland is pleased to announce that it has received planning approval from West Lothian Council for its proposed development at the former Brotherton Farm in Livingston. The approved plans will deliver 293 new homes, including 25% affordable housing, continuing the company's commitment to build thriving communities in Scotland. Limefield Grove will offer a diverse range of 2, 3, 4 and 5 bedroom homes designed to appeal to a wide range of buyers. Affordable housing will comprise of 1, 2, 3 and 4 bedroom properties which are anticipated to be available for social rent, helping to address local housing needs. This impressive development will also feature 9 acres of open space, including a new linear park, an equipped play area and enhanced pedestrian and cycle links. These green connections will integrate with the surrounding area, providing residents with access to Limefield Glen and ensuring a tranquil living environment. Pauline Mills, Technical Director for Taylor Wimpey East Scotland, said, "Securing planning consent for Limefield Grove represents significant investment in West Lothian. We look forward to delivering a well-designed, sustainable development that complements the local landscape. In addition to the offering of an impressive range of new homes, the project will support local jobs, boost biodiversity and enhance connections for both residents and the wider community in general. The development will incorporate industry-leading biodiversity measures at Limefield Grove, including bug hotels, bird and bat boxes, bee-friendly planting and high-visibility biodiverse landscaping. Each home will also feature high-performance building fabrics to reduce its carbon footprint, aligning with Taylor Wimpey's commitment to environmental responsibility. As well as new homes, Limefield Grove is expected to bring economic benefits to Livingston, supporting jobs during construction and stimulating local businesses."
Councillor's home and car pelted with poo. An article by Stuart Somerville. A councillor's home and car was pelted with dog mess after he suggested dog owners take poo bags home to dispose of them in their own bins. Carol John told a meeting that dog bins were overflowing in East Calder and asked if they could be emptied more often. He told the East Livingston and East Calder Local Area Committee, "I've had a lot of complaints and I've seen it for myself." Councillor John told the meeting that he had faced abuse when he suggested that owners take their dog mess home with them. "I've had threats and I've had dog poo thrown at my house and at my windows, and I've had it smeared on my car." He said, "We've got rid of a lot of the dog bins and we just have the standard black bin. It says you can leave your dog poo here. Every month they're overflowing and people are beginning to pile poo bags or black bags full of poo bags. It won't be so bad in the winter, but in the summer, the smell, flies and vermin hanging about isn't acceptable." He added, "I really think that if we're not supplying the old red bins that we used to, we should either have more of the black bins that are multi-usable or just increase the squads of people going round. I think we should really tighten up on that." Councillor John has regularly campaigned for more stencilled warnings on pavements to dog walkers to pick up after their pets. Simon Scott from Operational Services urged people to report overflowing bins, pointing out that all bins will be on a schedule for regular emptying. "The thing to do is, if there's a particular bin overflowing, is just to report it, as it may be an issue with a delay in getting round the schedule or not on schedule. Maybe we could look at reviewing the schedule." Regarding the provision of more dog bins, he said a finite level of investment governed how many bins could be installed.
We're going to have some announcements at this point, and there are 3 deaths and 1 in memoriam. Christine Elizabeth Cumming, née Duffield, peacefully passed at home on Sunday the 23rd of November 2025, aged 78 years. Dear wife of the late Tom Cumming, mother of Stuart, mother-in-law of Karen, and gran to Ben, sister to Marjorie, David and the late Charles, sister-in-law to Brian and Norma, and aunt to Suzanne. She will be sorely missed. Frances Marion Duns, 18th of May 1948 to the 27th of November 2025, passed peacefully at Edinburgh Royal Infirmary, surrounded by her family. Much loved mum of Karen and Kenny, and beloved Granny to Josh, Callum and Max, and dearest friend to Nancy. John Alfred Nichols Fradley, known as Jokey, 18th of February 1945 to the 6th of December 2025, passed peacefully at St John's Hospital, surrounded by his loving family. Much beloved husband to Margaret, dearly loved dad, granddad, great-granddad and brother, forever missed and loved. And the in memoriam, Nancy Forsyth, in loving memory of Nancy, who died on the 9th of December 1998, Johnny, who died on the 14th of November 2025, and Gary, who died on the 11th of June 2023. As each day dawns and starts anew, and when it closes, we think of you, the hours between, no matter where, in our hearts you are always there. Dawn and Moira.
Appeal for info after fatal crash. An article by Ross Thompson. Road policing officers are appealing for information after a fatal crash near Linlithgow. The incident happened around 6:55 p.m. on Friday, December the 5th, on the A706 near Caribou Mill, and involved a red Honda Civic and a silver Volkswagen T-Roc. Emergency services attended, and an 87-year-old woman, a passenger in the Volkswagen, was pronounced dead at the scene. A 21-year-old man, the driver of the Honda, the 64-year-old male driver of the Volkswagen, and a 63-year-old woman, a passenger in the Volkswagen, were all taken to hospital with serious injuries. The road was closed for 8 hours to allow investigations to take place and was reopened around 2 a.m. on Saturday, December the 6th. Sergeant Barry Somerville said, "Our thoughts remain with the family and friends of the woman who died at this extremely difficult time, and our inquiries into the crash are ongoing. I'm appealing to anyone who was driving in the area at the time and who may have seen what happened to contact officers. We are also keen to speak to the driver of a Range Rover who was driving along the road around the time of the crash. I'd also ask that anyone with dash cam footage review it and see if it's captured anything of significance that could assist with our investigation. Anyone with information is asked to contact Police Scotland on 101, quoting incident number 2701 of 5th of December 2025.
Poynton welcomes community policing plan by Ross Thompson. Livingston MP Gregor Poynton has welcomed Scottish Labour's announcement of a major overhaul of community policing. The MP said the proposal represents a breakthrough Scotland desperately needs and will make a real difference to communities across West Lothian dealing with trail bikes, illegal off-road biking, the misuse of fireworks and antisocial behaviour. Speaking after Saturday's Scottish Labour Policy Conference, Mr Poynton said the parties plan to restore named police officers in every community and free up 360 officers for frontline policing. It would give Police Scotland the tools that they need to tackle the issues raised repeatedly by Livingston constituency residents. He said, "Week after week I hear from people across the Livingston constituency about the trail bikes tearing through the estate, illegal off-road bikes racing through the parks and fireworks being used dangerously in residential areas. These problems have been growing while the SNP government has dithered, delayed and failed to give Police Scotland the resources or direction they need." Earlier this year, Gregor launched a constituency-wide survey on trail bikes and off-road bike misuse, which recorded 127 detailed responses, with 95% of residents describing the issue as a major problem. He has since written to the Justice Secretary urging action, warning that communities cannot be left to fend for themselves. Mr. Poynton said that the announcement is exactly the kind of change local residents have been demanding. He added, "For years the SNP and Angela Constance have offered nothing but excuses. They have run out of ideas and frankly they have run out of time." Scottish Labour's plan to restore community policing, putting named neighbourhood officers back on your streets, freeing up officers stuck in A&E and courtrooms, and rebuilding crime prevention teams is a major breakthrough. This is precisely the kind of focused, visible policing that we will help tackle antisocial behaviour in the area. The illegal bikes terrorising communities, the dangerous misuse of fireworks, and the intimidation of residents face in our parks and streets. The new Scottish Labour plan includes a named community police officer in every ward, 360 officers freed for frontline duties by modernising courts and ending the routine use of police in health settings, restored crime prevention teams working directly with schools, retailers and community groups, and new trauma support and modern training for officers. Mr. Poynton added, "This plan gives Police Scotland the capacity and backing they need, and it finally gives our communities hope that things can change."
Glowing tribute to business stalwart Anne, and this is an article by Ross Thompson. Tributes have been paid to a West Lothian businesswoman following her sad death. A woman at the forefront of the Scottish hospitality industry for over 50 years, Anne Davidson, alongside her late husband Clive, took over Champagny Inn near Linlithgow in January 1983, building the restaurant around Scottish produce with an unwavering passion for Scottish beef and South African wine. They established an award-winning rural business that today consists of a fine dining steakhouse, 16 bedrooms, the Chop and Alehouse Bistro and a wine shop. Champagny has become an institution where Anne Davidson was very much at the helm and where Jason, her sons, leads today. Affectionately known as Mrs. D, she led her team from the front. She was on the floor for every service where her attention to detail was exemplary. Things simply had to be done properly. She will always be remembered as a devoted, energetic and kind host who was an inspiration to many who knew her. Her impeccable fashion and style was renowned, as were the shoes that ran her around the restaurant. Guests on their first visit, or as regulars who returned, were met with "Welcome to Champagny" as they walked in the door. Anne knew the power of hospitality, bringing people together to sit around a table with food and wine, share stories, laughter and experiences. This was what Anne knew that she could do and enable it to make it her pride and joy doing so. When she wasn't working, she was hosting friends and family at home. Nothing made her happier. Many strive to create a family culture within their team, and that is what Anne did. Anne is survived by her children, Jason, Anne and Lucy, and their cherished granddaughter, Miriam. There will be a private family funeral.
Amazon invests in site and jobs, an article by Ross Thompson. Amazon has invested over £50 million expanding its delivery station in Bathgate, creating more than 200 seasonal roles ahead of the busy shopping period. Over the past 9 months, the site has undergone a significant upgrade programme, including the installation of new matrix technology, office improvements and construction of a new 3-storey car park with electric vehicle charging. The delivery station currently employs hundreds of people, with the additional roles supporting customer demand across the Christmas period. The investment sees the delivery station in Bathgate become Amazon's largest delivery station in Europe, serving customers across Edinburgh, St Andrews and Inverness. Dara Kelly, Regional Director of Amazon Logistics, said, "This investment marks an important step in strengthening our delivery network in Scotland, enabling us to serve customers with even greater speed and reliability. It also reflects our long-term commitment to the communities we operate in and the people who power our sites every day." The weeks leading up to Christmas are always our busiest period, and this expansion ensures the Bathgate team has the space, technology and resources they need to operate at scale. The enhancements made at the site will support our teams as they process thousands of parcels for customers across the region. We're incredibly proud to be welcoming more than 200 seasonal colleagues this year. It's a fantastic opportunity for people to gain new skills in a supportive, fast-paced and innovative workplace. Since 2010, Amazon has invested more than £3.7 billion in Scotland. This investment led to the production of goods and services that contributed over an estimated £3 billion to the region's GDP. To date, Amazon has created more than 3,000 full and part-time jobs in Scotland, and more than 520 people have completed Amazon's Employability Skills Training Programme. Craig DeLue, Senior Delivery Station Manager at Amazon in Bathgate, added, "I'm delighted to announce this investment in our Bathgate delivery station, but more importantly, being able to provide over 200 new job opportunities in a modern, engaging and safe workplace, which offers unrivalled opportunity for employees wishing to further their careers." Amazon recently announced plans to invest £40 billion in the UK over the next 3 years, 2025 to 2027, which is expected to contribute an estimated additional £38 billion to UK GDP. This investment includes building 4 new fulfilment centres and new delivery stations nationwide, plus upgrades to its existing network of over 100 operations buildings.
MSP Constance praises inspiring young local podcasters, an article by Ross Thompson. Almond Vale MSP Angela Constance joined a group of inspiring young people at the Venny in Knightsbridge who are making their voices heard through podcasting. Make Your Message Matter podcast was formed by youths at the Venny, where they talk openly and honestly with significant people and decision makers within West Lothian. Young people share their views on the issues that matter most to them, including education, their own experiences at school, and many challenges that affect young people in today's digital world. Angela said, it was a pleasure to be invited as a guest on the Venny podcast, Make Your Message Matter. The free-flowing conversation makes this podcast unique, where the guest can also ask the young hosts questions about their own journey and what is important to them. The podcast was a rare opportunity to learn about the very real issues that affect our young people, including their own challenges and prospects at school and how we can better address concerns about youth crime, social media and online safety. It is an honest, open and passionate podcast that amplifies and platforms young people in West Lothian and inspires them to share their story and create a safe space to not just listen, but to feel heard. Young people face many challenges, and addressing these issues requires open conversation to break down stigma. Make Your Message Matter is expected to be launched this year, starting with an interview montage and broadcast on their brand new Venny podcast. And there's a picture of Angela Constance with a number of young folk at the Venny.
Scottish Prison Chief is guest speaker at Club, an article by Ross Thompson. The Linlithgow in District 41 Club we're privileged to welcome Natalie Beale, who is currently Divisional Head of Operations Support at the Scottish Prison Service. Natalie has previously served as a prison governor and also chair of the Prison Governors Association Scotland. The assembled company were enormously impressed by her passion, knowledge and understanding of the prison service and the justice system. Mrs. Beale emphasised the requirement of safety, proportionate sentencing and rehabilitation. She told members that given the level of overcrowding, reform is required, although that comes with tensions. As in other public services, Mrs. Beale indicated that there is a need for a prison governor to work with their team while showing leadership and strong positive strategic direction in amongst day-to-day crisis management. There is never enough time for all of the questions raised when members are treated to someone of Natalie Beale's stature, but the club wanted to thank her for blowing away a few urban myths and giving everyone a better understanding of the challenges in the prison service.
Firm losses plan appeal over yard expansion. A national firm has lost an appeal over its expanded yard in Polbeth and been ordered to restore agricultural land. The firm had an urgent need to accommodate plant and construction equipment beside its existing business on a field it owned. Conversion work included laying hard standing, moving in concrete blocks to secure a road boundary and planting trees to provide extra space, all without obtaining planning permission. A retrospective application was refused by West Lothian planners earlier this year. Councillors on the local review body rejected the appeal by Thomas Plant Hire for the temporary conversion of what is classified as agricultural land next to its yard on the edge of an industrial estate in the village. Councillor Willie Boyle said that, as a national company, it should have been aware of planning rules and obtained permission before starting work. Agents for the firm said the Polbeth site had an oversupply of plant and equipment in recent months due to an unexpected downturn in demand. The application therefore utilised land within its ownership adjoining the existing yard from November 2024 for temporary storage. It was hoped that this would last just until February 2025, but a continued pattern of levels of demand below expectation has required the business to continue to use this land for storage. The agents added that there had been no objection to the work being carried out. Planners refused the application and in a report stated, the proposal constitutes an unjustified encroachment into the designated country belt, resulting in a significant adverse impact on local landscape and loss of biodiversity habitats. Further, the proposal undermines the integrity of the natural boundary by eroding the visual and spatial separation between Polbeth and the forthcoming CDA allocation at West Calder, therefore contributing to the coming together of these settlements. In addition, insufficient surface water drainage information has been submitted to fully assess the proposal. Councillor Boyle for SNP expressed doubt that the site would be temporary and said it was evident from a site visit that the extent of the groundworks had been carried out, including a large amount of material that had been brought in to create hard standing and concrete blocks. He added, I'm really concerned about the level of assumption that has been taken here. This is not some local company who's looking to establish itself. It is a company whose size I would expect to have the experience to know when they need planning permission and when they don't. I really feel that this is damaging, and I really feel that this is a really damning reflection back on the company, not knowing their obligation and requirements for planning permission and then bringing forward this as a retrospective application. I would look for a reinstatement of the ground back to the agricultural use. Labour councillor Tom Conn seconded this. Councillor Conservative Alison Adamson suggested supporting the business with added conditions on the provision of reports, but found no support for her motion.
Harry finds his forever home at Christmas. An article by Ross Thompson. An adorable Staffordshire Bull Terrier who spent 580 days at Dogs Trust West Calder, where he was rarely seen without one of his beloved unicorn toys, will celebrate Christmas in his happy place, in a peaceful rural home with a large toy box. Handsome Harry, who is 11 years old, had countless admirers within the team at Dogs Trust West Calder due to his loving, affectionate and happy nature. But it took months for him to attract the attention of his perfect match. After spending last Christmas in kennels, 2025 was the year that Harry's life changed forever. Andrew and Mel first spotted Harry online on the Dogs Trust website. He resembled their much-loved staffy Loki, adopted from Dogs Trust Leeds, who sadly passed away in 2024 at the age of 13. After moving to Scotland soon after Loki's passing, they felt their house was empty without a dog and were keen to offer another rescue staffy a loving home. Speaking about their absolute sweetheart, Andrew said, "As soon as we met Harry, it was a total no-brainer. Even though we were strangers to him, he came straight up to us and we knew he was our boy. Our nickname for him is Harry Bo, as he is the sweetest boy you could ever meet. He has a strong character, but is also very sweet-natured at the same time. He made himself at home from day one. He loves to sunbathe at the window or out in the garden or on the grass, and of course he adores his unicorn soft toys and snuggling with you under a blanket. We're looking forward to our first Christmas together, which might include a road trip and will most definitely include a Christmas dinner and presents for Harry. Harry is also very fond of destroying boxes. He's not bothered what is in the box, but give him a box and he goes to town ripping it to bits, so that is bound to entertain him at Christmas. Andrew offers his advice to anyone considering adopting an older dog that has spent a long time in kennels. Just do it. Older dogs may have a shorter time to spend with you, but they're just as special and have so much love to give. It truly feels like Harry was sitting there waiting for us. It just feels right that he's now part of our family. Susan Toner, manager at Dogs Trust West Calder, said, "We are thrilled Harry has found his happy place with Andrew and Mel. It's what our job is all about, helping every dog in our care find the right home for them. Harry was always loved, but now he knows what it is like to be part of a family and live in a home where he is spoiled from morning to night, and that makes us all very happy." Harry was known as a Dogs Trust underdog, a term used by the charity for dogs who have been waiting for their forever home for more than 6 months. Although not every dog will be in a home this Christmas, those who remain in Dogs Trust care will still benefit from all the love and commitment of the brilliant rehoming centre staff, who will go above and beyond to make sure every dog has a happy place this Christmas. To see all the dogs currently waiting to be adopted at Dogs Trust West Calder, visit dogstrust.org.uk/West Calder. And to buy a Christmas gift for a rescue dog at the centre, you can view the Amazon wish list at amazon.co.uk/registry/wish list. And as you would imagine, there is a lovely photograph accompanying the article showing Harry, a black Staffordshire Bull Terrier, wearing a nice yellow collar, sitting on the couch, surrounded by a selection of obviously his favourite unicorn toys. Very nice.
Buzz about Bothy after its first year. This is an article by Ross Thompson. He's been a busy chap tonight. Two businesses fueling a growing cafe culture and gelato craze in the West Lothian Riviera are celebrating their first year in business. At Winchborough Marina by the Union Canal, the unique al fresco food and drink experience offered by Villaggio Gelato and the Wee Bothy have caught the imagination of residents and visitors alike, many of whom flock on foot and by boat to the foodie heaven. The businesses operate from beach hut retail units and are putting Winchborough on the map through barista-brewed coffee and indulgent gelato. We can sell out of gelato quickly, said gelato maestro Marguerite Spina. We have people travelling from across West Lothian, Fife and Glasgow. I want to put Winchborough on the map, and the two businesses at the marina are helping to do that. It's creating a sense of community, allowing people to eat delicious gelato, but more importantly, connecting and meeting new people. Winchborough is a growing village, and we're trying to retain that strong sense of community. We've managed to create something special for the people in the village, added Irene Mahoney of the Wee Bothy, which is a spin-off of the Wee Winchborough Cafe on the community's main street. We have someone at the Bothy every day to serve the community, and we are still gauging what the village needs and wants from businesses like ours. I think the gelato and coffee side by side is a great combination. Winchborough is Scotland's fastest growing town, with the lead developer Winchborough Developments Limited, WDL, adopting an infrastructure-first approach that has yielded a town centre marina, connections to the M9 motorway, a state-of-the-art school campus, and vast green space in Old Cathy Park at the core. WDL supported the growing community by creating the beach hut facility and offering them to existing businesses in an effort to encourage a thriving social space. John Hamilton, CEO of WDL, said, "We're so keen to support local businesses where possible, and Winchborough is fortunate to have such enterprise and creativity in its brilliant business community. Congratulations to the two businesses adjacent to the marina within our emerging town centre on their successful first year of trading. The Wee Bothy and Villaggio Gelato are not only playing an important role in bringing people together in our community, but going from strength to strength themselves, which is great to see." And there's a picture of the two business owners there, Marguerite Spina and Irene Mulhoney, and another shot of Winchborough Marina with the canal boats.
Lazy Days' success is very sweet. An article by Ross Thompson. A pioneering Harthill-based business is celebrating a stellar quarter of success. Lazy Day Foods co-founder Sally Beattie and Emer Bustard were recognised at the Lloyd's British Business Excellence Awards, and Warehouse senior team leader Amy Gillis honoured at the Scottish Food and Drinks Excellency Awards. The rapidly growing free-from bakery business continues to go from strength to strength, further cementing its position as one of Scotland's most exciting food manufacturing businesses. Lazy Days founders were awarded highly commended in the female founder category at the Lloyd's British Business Excellence Awards. This recognition highlights the remarkable journey of the Scottish bakery from developing its first free-from recipes in its home kitchens to becoming a leading local employer with a national footprint. The commendation reflects Sally and Emar's visionary leadership, their commitment to creating high-quality, free-from products, and their long-standing focus on building an engaged, value-led team. Their team-first approach has shaped Lazy Days culture, where community, ethical practices and opportunity sit at the heart of the business. Today, the company employs over 150 people, with more than half living locally, and boasts a leadership team where over 60% of directors and 70% of managers are women, which is a testament to the founder's dedication to developing talent and champion the next generation of female leaders within Scottish food manufacturing. In addition, Warehouse Senior Team Leader Amy Gillis was named winner of the Young Talent Award at the Scotland Food and Drink Excellence Awards. Sponsored by Food and Drink Federation Scotland, the award celebrates exceptional rising stars whose achievement are helping to shape the future of the food and drinks industry. Amy's award acknowledges her remarkable progression since joining the business in 2020, her leadership within the warehouse team and her contribution to Lazy Days' growth. Following her win, Amy will now continue this work as an ambassador for the Food and Drink Federation Scotland, promoting careers in the industry to young people across the country. Founded in 2006, Lazy Days has pioneered the production of award-winning, high-quality, free-from and vegan cakes, biscuits and other delicious baked treats that are suitable for allergy sufferers. Operating from its state-of-the-art facility, the company not only makes indulgent treats accessible to those following restricted diets, but also takes pride in being an integral part of its local community. Emer, co-founder of Lazy Day Foods, said, "Lazy Day has always been guided by a strong sense of purpose. We set out to create food that people with dietary restrictions could trust, but just as importantly, to build a workplace where people feel encouraged, supported, and able to thrive." Being highly commended in the female founder category means so much to us because it recognises the people-first culture that underpins everything we do. We are incredibly proud of the team around us and of the strong supportive community we have grown here in Scotland. Sally Beattie, co-founder, added, "From the beginning, our goal has been to combine scientific expertise with a genuine commitment to people, whether that is people who rely on the products or people who make them." This commendation reflects the dedication, resilience and innovation shown across the team. We are proud to be a female-led business with women represented at every level of leadership and to contribute positively to our local community as we continue to grow. Watching colleagues like Amy thrive is one of the most rewarding parts of leading Lazy Days, and we are excited for the next chapter as we approach our 20th year. And there's a lovely picture of Amy and the ladies looking lovely in their finery receiving their award.
Construction on homes begins. House builder Robertson Homes has begun construction of 71 luxury new homes in Winchborough after completing the acquisition of a 9-acre site. The development, called Castle Gate, is situated on the western edge of Winchborough on the B9080 close to Shale Road and will feature a range of 3, 4 and 5 bedroom detached homes. Castlegate is the second development for Robertson Homes within the Winchborough Master Plan, one of the largest placemaking projects in the UK. The independently owned house builder completed sales of 53 homes at Glendevon Grange on the west side of the Master Plan in June 2023. When complete, the Master Plan will create at least 3,450 new homes. It includes improved transport links, a mixed-use town centre, primary and secondary schools, and an 85-acre district park. Michael Izzy, land director at Robertson Homes, said, Gate will build on the success of Glendevon Grange, which proved popular for families wanting a village lifestyle in an attractive and well-designed development, while being within easy access of Edinburgh, just 12 miles away. As with our previous Winchborough development, we will be focusing on what modern families are looking for in a new home: extra living space, luxury specifications including designer kitchens and top-of-the-range fixtures and fittings, and of course our garden rooms, which have become a must-have addition across a range of our homes. The first homes for sale at Castlegate are expected to be released in May 2026, and the first completion will be due in August 2026. Michael added, Winchborough enjoys an enviable location and new transport links. The new Union Canal Marina increases tourist facilities, and 2 new secondary schools and a recently opened Hawkhill Primary School provide great education opportunities.
Snowmageddon, 15 years on, remembering 2010's blizzard, a short article by Robert Mitchell. It has now been 15 years since one of the worst snowstorms to ever hit the country brought West Lothian to a complete standstill. A blizzard wreaked havoc on December the 6th, 2010, as workers were stranded in offices overnight, cars were abandoned on blocked roads, and people battled through freezing temperatures to get home. Journeys that normally took a matter of minutes lasted for hours, as the rarely seen conditions proved chaotic for locals. Temperatures plunged to a bone-chilling minus 19 degrees in parts of the region, causing the snowfall to freeze, further compounding drivers' misery. Here we travel back in time to look at the chaos that enveloped Livingston, Armadale, Blackburn, East and West Calder, Beacraigs, Harthill, Whitburn and Fauldhouse. And the article is mostly a series of photographs from those couple of days, showing a complete whiteout, traffic sometimes at a standstill, with people either stuck in their cars or out of their cars, walking along the road or pushing cars, and obviously several abandoned cars as well. Well, hopefully we won't see anything similar this winter.
Property award for developer at Glitzy Bash, an article by Ross Thompson. Winchborough Developments, led developer of Scotland's fastest growing town, has triumphed for the second year running at the prestigious UK Property Awards. Winchborough claimed bronze in both the Best Regeneration Scheme and Best Mixed Use Development categories at the JW Marriott Grosvenor Hotel on Park Lane in London. Known as the Oscars for the house building industry, the awards celebrate the very best in place-making new homes, design and sustainability from across the length and breadth of the UK. The award was presented to the team by TV presenter Gabby Logan in front of 1,300 industry professionals at a glittering gala lunch even. Judges from the awards travelled to Winchborough earlier this year to tour the village, meet members of the community and learn more about the infrastructure first approach to development in Winchborough in the West Lothian town, whose population is projected to grow from 4,000 to 14,000 in the next 10 years. John Hamilton, CEO of WDL, said the success of any placemaking project relies on the support of the local community, and we would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone in Winchborough for their ongoing support in making all these works possible. It is an honour to have been recognised in 2 categories of such a prestigious UK awards ceremony. It's important to occasionally reflect on the work you're carrying out, and these awards are validation for our efforts as well as a testament to the hard work of our valued contractors and the team here at Winchborough Developments. Last year, WDL was named the recipient of the Silver Award in the placemaking category of the renowned What House Awards in London. Also in 2024, WDL was crowned Property Company of the Year at the Scottish Property Awards, which aim to shine a spotlight on the greatest achievements in the built environment across Scotland. Judges recognised WDL for its ongoing investment in the area and the significant development milestones it has achieved over the last 12 months with its infrastructure-first approach to community planning. These include a direct link to the M9 motorway, a vast green space, Old Cathay Park, running through the heart of the town, a state-of-the-art school campus, Scotland's newest marina connected to the Union Canal, attracting a big-name supermarket, Sainsbury's, to the emerging town centre, and most recently gaining planning permission for a railway station at Winchborough on the main Edinburgh to Glasgow line. And there's a photograph of Gabby Logan and the recipients of the Bronze Award at the UK Property Awards in London.
Valneva hit £10,000 target thanks to Team Jake trophy. An article by Ross Thompson. West Lothian-based vaccine producer Valneva Scotland hit its fundraising target of £10,000 after raising over £2,000 at its inaugural Team Jake Trophy charity football match. The game took place at the Oriam, where Scotland's over-50s team, Scottish Vets FC, faced players from Valneva Scotland, the Scottish Patient Awareness Council and Boygaze Energies and Services. The event brought together players, supporters and the local community for a fantastic morning of football in support of Team Jake, a charity dedicated to improving the lives of children and young people impacted by cancer. Notable Scottish veteran players taking part included former Blackburn Rovers defender Colin Henry and Colin Cameron, who played for Raith Rovers, Hearts and Wolves. The event was part of Valneva Scotland's ongoing support for Team Jake. Alison Barr, Chief Executive at Team Jake, said, "We provide a vital lifeline for young people and families facing incredibly challenging times. It's thanks to amazing fundraising efforts like this from the Charity Committee at Valneva Scotland, all its staff and supporters, that we are able to continue our work and reach even more families when they need it most. It really is a fantastic achievement." The Valneva team edged a competitive match with a 2-1 win and some fantastic goals. Mark Jones, Operations Director, Valneva Scotland, said, "Valneva is proud to support Team Jake and to be part of this inspiring initiative. The Team Jake Trophy shows how sport, community and charity can come together and make a real positive difference for young people, patients and their families across Scotland. We set an ambitious target of £10,000 at the start of the year. We're a determined bunch and it's such a great achievement by our staff to have made this happen. To find out more about Team Jake's Den and how to support its services, visit www.teamjake.org.uk, and there are some lovely pictures of the various teams all lined up.
Well, that's us come to the end of this week's recording, and we hope that you enjoyed it. Please remember to return your envelope, turning the little label in the front with the Boomerang address uppermost. And we're going to say goodbye now from members of the team, from Paul, our engineer, from me, George.
Good evening from Linda.
Good evening from Steve.
And goodbye from Ray.
We look forward to being with you in the new year after a slightly longer break due to the Christmas and New Year period. Good night.